What's up guys, I'm BTC. Brigitte's got the shield boost, which is pretty good for vertical movement, but just recently it was discovered she's got another trick up her sleeve. When Brigitte was added to the game, it was quickly discovered that she had a boost similar to that of Moira, Doomfist, and some others. But hers was extremely powerful. In fact, you could use it to get up on top of that walkway, the building, and other places with relative ease. Shortly after, Blizzard addressed this, but rather than completely removing it, they simply nerfed it a bit. So now you can't get to the walkway, but you can get up on top of there. Now a new trick has been discovered, but instead of giving you a vertical boost, it's now a horizontal boost. There are a couple of steps to this trick, but it's really quite easy. First, you have to be holding forward. Second, you have to be in the air, even if it's just a normal jump. Third, you're going to shield bash, and then immediately after you do that, you're going to whip shot. And then you're going to notice that you get an extra secondary boost of speed. Let me show you. Now, I've traveled a decent amount of distance, but I was on the high ground, so just how far can you actually travel with this compared to the normal shield bash? People always wondering why I use the Hollywood map for testing? Well, one of the reasons is because the lines on the road make it really easy to show distance. So let's do a normal shield bash and check the distance. So I went from there to right about there. That's the normal shield bash. Now let's try with this new trick. And you'll see I am now right here. So I went from there to there. So rather than here to here, I went there to there. Now I think that was probably one of the better little boosts that I've done with this. So that's probably the most extreme distance that you can travel. But that is quite a difference. That's probably about double the distance of your normal shield bash. Now this trick isn't as powerful as some people are saying, but it certainly is useful. In fact, you can use this trick on every single map, whether you're on attack or defense. Now you may not get into some special spot or a ledge or whatever, but you can at a minimum always use it when you're going from the spawn to the control point in order to save yourself an extra couple seconds, which can make or break whether or not you win that round. Now, you can do what I've been doing, which is you just go into a custom match, you set all of your cooldowns to 0, so that way you can keep trying it. And then like that until you get it down. One of the things that I was having a problem with when I originally started doing this was I would jump and then I would whip shot and try to shield bash. So I kept doing the abilities in the wrong order. You need to shield bash and then whip shot. In the background, I'm going to show you a bunch of different maps with effective uses for this trick. Some of them, like Hanamura, Dorado, and Gibraltar, have some really good spots, but like I said, you can use this on every single map, even if it's just simply getting from spawn to the control point a little bit faster. It's still going to be useful. Now, of course, the big question that everyone asks is this going to be removed? I don't know. They didn't completely remove the shield boost, they just nerfed it. So maybe they won't completely remove this, maybe they'll just end up nerfing it. I mean, it definitely is effective enough where it's something you need to know and you need to use. Again, even if it's just from going from spawn to the control point. Now, there are other stuff in the game that works similar to this, like Moira has it, Doomfist does. Winston used to have a super jump, which was pretty cool and you can use in a variety of situations, but they completely removed that. And of course, Genji's ledge dash also got removed, but that's a little bit different because the ledge dash was almost game-breaking. Like, you could practically teleport halfway across the map with the Genji ledge dash, so that kinda did need to get removed. But when you have tricks like this, I really like this stuff being in the game. Although, I don't like the fact that it's there only because it's an accident or because it's a bug. I really wish Blizzard would actually add stuff like this to the game on purpose in order to increase the skill ceiling of a bunch of different characters. Like, there should be extra little tricks that you can do. Soldier 76 and some others can do some incredibly basic rocket jumping type stuff, but that was a really big aspect of some of the older first-person shooters. In fact, the whole concept of rocket jumping came about as a bug, and when it first got released and players discovered it, the developers of Quake thought it was going to be game-breaking. They thought it was the worst thing ever. They thought it was going to completely destroy their game and no one would want to play it, and in fact it did the exact opposite. People loved it. And it was like the best thing that had ever been added to a first-person shooter up until that time. And since then, lots of other games have introduced things like rocket jumping and whatnot. So I really, really like all of these little extra kind of things that get added to the game, but I wish Blizzard would add them on purpose, like I said, in order to make characters a little more skillful to use. So yeah, you can have the basic skill sets and all that stuff, but add that extra stuff. Now, unfortunately, the biggest hurdle to any of this stuff actually getting added to the game is Blizzard themselves, because some of the devs have specifically said that they don't like this sort of stuff. They don't want players to have to learn things from other players. They don't want to have to go to a guide or a video or something in order to learn these more advanced tricks. They don't like that stuff at all, and I feel that's really kind of disappointing, because this is the kind of stuff that really can elevate a person's level of gameplay. And that's really unfortunate, because this sort of stuff can really make characters powerful and viable in the upper brackets and at professional levels of play without causing problems for the average player or the lower bracket. Because let's say, for example, Torbjorn or Bastion had some kind of a trick where it required really precise timing and you had to have good reflexes or whatever it happens to be, right? Some kind of little trick. The average player probably wouldn't be able to do that quite often, but a professional player or a high skill in the upper bracket GM top 500 level, they could do that on a regular basis, and it would make the character viable for them without causing the problems for the average player, without making that one character too strong. How long is this particular trick going to stick around? I don't know. But we are supposed to get a dev update and a PTR patch later today, and if the patch notes say fixed Brigitte movement bug, well, then we know it's going to be gone. But hey, it's still going to be at least 2 or 3 weeks before that patch hits the live server, so even still, it's worth learning this and using it in your games. So what do you guys think about Blizzard purposefully adding these kinds of little precision timing tricks into the game? Would you like to see more of it or less of it? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything. Also, come hang out in my Discord server and my Twitch live stream. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see what kind of cool VIP rewards you can get, check the links down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.